Had a vision for 20 in the morning, thinking of my little sister said morning. Struggling with realities, no maladies. Holidays are the same, everything's changed. No Bowie, no Prince, and no Michael, no Andre Crouch and the Disciples, no Walter and Winter, Deborah Coley, no Whitney, no George Michael. Toys R Us gone bankrupt. Damn, the Guitar City went bankrupt. Everything from my childhood's missing, man. Man, I swear it's such a fucked up feeling, man. I'm not mad, it's a simple observation. And I'm not sad, but it's not a celebration. I'm just trying to put the pieces back together, man. Everything's falling through my fingers like sand. It seems a tighter that I'm gripping. It seems more that I am slipping. I feel like I lost everything I love. And where's this legend of God be loved? And churches ain't the same. Gospel music just ain't the same. R&B it just ain't the same. But y'all keep telling me it's the same. But I ain't feeling nothing, damn it. And I don't wanna reach up and grab it. Shots fired, get to ducking. Always knew they were up to something. This ain't no future when you're frontin'. And y'all know you still out here, fool. I'm not a baby, bro, I'm grown. Don't leave me standing out here alone. That's why I wrote this song. Because I know I'm not alone. What are we out here doing? What are we out here saying? People don't care no more. So forget I don't care no more. This is too much for you to handle. I was always too much to handle. There ain't nothing new about me. You don't want authenticity. You don't want sincerity. 2020 brought me clarity. Now I see who you really are. No mask wearing, mailbox wrecking, racist motherfucker. Let's go. Homie, you don't really want it. Sis, you don't really want it. I'm your nightmare opponent. Walking in a new anointing. Walking past all your bullets. Nothing in your trigger bullets. Try and pull it again. No weapon missed again. Tired of talking about changes. Tired of going through changes. Lie after lie. Lie after lie. Republicans and the Democrats. Prime ministers and bureaucrats. Senators and aristocrats. HBO and Cinemax. Film the babies in the cages. Babies dying in the cages. I ain't forgot about the cages. And if you did, then you're a racist. Calling it out like it is. Call it out like it is. We've been in law for a year. And we're heading for another year. Lights off for Cologne. High interest student loans. Living in a pandemic. Calculated and systemic. Start with black folks first. Kill that melanin first. Press us down and we pop up. Press us down and we pop back up. Speaking of getting it poppin', I heard you wanna get it poppin'. 400 years picked up. I guess you really wanna get picked up. We ain't playing with that ass. I'll get all up in that ass. Been doing wrong for too long. Time to sing a brand new song. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty. We're free at last. Free of your religion. All of your European religion. All of your past decisions. All of your wicked intentions. It didn't work back then. Ain't gonna work now. We were people back then, but we get louder now. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Sick of being here anyway. Can somebody shout change? Change! 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 Change!
For the team, took a bullet for the dream that we would one day all be free from prejudice. cause I'm free from bigotry. I die for creativity, yeah. I die for freedom to be free. I died and left a legacy. Oh, but baby, I still live through technology. The sun will start shining. Black tears of pain, and tears of pain, and tears of pain, and a dash of struggle. Just be patient. Your destiny will manifest. Yes, Bubz in the city.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Hope everybody is doing well on this Monday afternoon. Listen, okay? I tried to do this last night. I just felt compelled in my spirit to go ahead and do it. But something interesting happened. The internet started acting up and it didn't get back into order until an hour later, okay? So I guess the universe wanted me to save this particular video and you know, this particular small mini series, two-part series if you will, about what's to come in reference to Trump's second term, okay? And I think a lot of us forgot what happened the first time. So with that being said, we're going to take a look, okay? A blast from the past, okay? We're going to definitely take a look into that. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, what's going on? What is going on, y'all? Oh, we is back. We is back. I don't think people are really ready for what's to come. I think we're not ready for that. But you bets to get ready. Okay, you better get ready and get prepared. Okay? Because things are about to get even more serious. And my job with this live today is to, again, remind y'all, right, of what the fuck we've been through with this individual. And now he is backed up by the church, girl. The Christian people have decided to sink their claws, girl, into Donald Trump to make sure that he solidifies this election. Not just him, but a bunch of millionaires, billionaires. It's a bunch of narcissistic, manipulative, low vibrational, but have high vibrational currency money individuals who are getting ready to tear this country apart. And for individuals like myself and those of you who support me, baby, it's going to be very interesting for us. But what I want us to understand is that not only is it going to be interesting for us, it's going to be interesting for everybody else. Because like I said, equality across the motherfucking board. What's going on, Queen Spicy? Hope that you are doing well. And yes, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also subscribe to my other YouTube channel. If you go to my community tab, you'll be able to see it for yourself. I've been doing like Reddit stories, scary horror stories on this channel for a while, and now I'm going to move that to another channel. So please check my community tab and subscribe to my new YouTube channel, okay? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But before we get into this live, before we get into this, let me go ahead and do my due deals. Boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use, okay? For purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit or educational tips the balance in favor of fair use. And again, all the videos, songs, images, and graphics used in this live belong to their respective owners, and BubzDaGawd does not claim any right over them. And I'm glad that I'm doing this live again a second time, because when I did it last night and the internet started acting up, I privated that video. Earlier this afternoon, I got a notification from YouTube, my YouTube Studio app, telling me that the live, which was supposed to be this live, there was a partial block, and I kind of figured that was going to happen due to the fact of the nature of it. But it's only blocked in like countries that are not America, okay? And I want to talk to Americans because I want to remind Americans, okay, about where we came from and where we're about to go into. And when we don't learn from history, which is a very painful process, especially when a group of people that you belong to contributes to the bullshit, like, I can understand how terrifying, how jarring, how nerve-wracking it can be to be accountable for things. But in order for change to genuinely happen, we have to be accountable. And I ain't talking about just the people who know they need to be accountable, but every single one of us needs to be accountable for our own personal life. All this whole situation with America is showing is that the majority of Americans do not want to be accountable for their life. And I mean accountable here and here, the two most important parts, because your thoughts and your emotions is what manifests your reality. And fear, baby, has showed its ass. Okay? So with that being said, let's hope and pray that this live goes through well. Hopefully we don't get any more internet outages or whatever the case may be, because I really want you guys to get into it. And if you want to watch the first of all, let me tell you what it is. The documentary that we're going to be taking a look at today, especially with part 1, is a documentary by Michael Moore, who is a filmmaker from my home state, Michigan, entitled Fahrenheit 11/9. Now, he did a documentary, I want to say over a decade ago, called Fahrenheit 9/11, with Bush and the whole 9/11 situation that happened. And that film was, wow, it was just blew my mind. So he's back again with Fahrenheit 11/9 in reference to Trump's presidency and his victory in 2020. We're going to discover how that even came about, girl. That Donald Trump wasn't even playing, girl. He wasn't trying to become president, girl. But there were some people who believed in him and secured, okay, the presidency in 2020. And then we're going to look at all the bullshit that happened during that time, girl. And unfortunately, to disparage groups of people, black people, queer people, women. You're going to hear Trump in his falsified attempt to run for president, which, again, you're going to get into the nuance and context of all that. Okay? Listen to the words that he says, and how the same thing that he said when he was playing is the same thing that's being said now that he is president for a second time. Okay? So again, we are here to bring forth evidence. We're here to bring forth, okay, the context and nuance. I know y'all hate that word, but baby, you're gonna really hate it this year. Okay? Of Trump's presidency, and also the people who support Trump. What's going on, Harold? I hope that everything is well with you, King. Yes, we in the motherfucking building. All right, so with that being said, make sure that you have this playing in the background. I'm visual. I'm gonna try to be more visual this year, for real, but you ain't gotta pay attention to how I look, because baby, I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm looking like a mix between fucking Sealy, okay, Miss Pearly, about the mustache here, girl. That wolf pussy. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to listen to what's being said, not necessarily how I look, because baby, I clean up when I want to. But when we doing work like this, baby, this is not pretty work. This is ugly ass work. And I ain't no ugly ass nigga, girl, but we gonna act like we ugly in reference to this work so we can get this done. Okay? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into part 1, okay, of Fahrenheit 11/9. Again, if you want to watch the documentary without my commentary, because I know some people don't like the commentary that I do, that's fine. The link for the documentary is in the description box below. Mind you, it is age restricted, so you have to have an account where you can verify that you are over 18 years of age, and then you'll be able to watch it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into that live, shall we? Let me go ahead and change my background music because I have music playing in the actual video. So I'm asking that y'all please just bear with a nigga. Just bear with a nigga, okay? Again, I had to change things up to try to make sure that YouTube don't shut my shit down. Now, I'm partially blocked, but they ain't gonna shut all my shit down. Okay? I'm just saying. So with that being said, let's get into Fahrenheit 11/9, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it was the Russians. And of course, it was James Comey.
What a job.
But history will record that no one was more responsible for Donald Trump being in the White House than this woman.
Gwen Stefani. This shit
That's
is
right.
bananas.
Gwen Renee Stefani. Allow me to
Harajuku
explain.
girls. Now he's about to explain how this all came about. How, again, like I said earlier, him wanting to run for presidency came about, girl. Ain't it funny how shit be fake and then it becomes real?
Ladies and gentlemen, my father, Donald J. Trump.
What you are about to witness is a fake announcement for a run for President of the United States.
A fake announcement for the run of President of the United States. Fake run. This wasn't supposed to be real. This wasn't supposed to be taken seriously. Oh, what funny how life is, huh?
This idea was cooked up by Donald Trump when he found out that NBC was paying Gwen Stefani on The Voice more than they were paying him to star on The Apprentice.
Wow, so a woman got paid more than him, and now he's pissed off about that, even though he is a multi-millionaire, damn near billionaire.
He
Damn.
paid a bunch of extras, $50 a piece, to be his cheering supporters.
You cheap as hell
He
paying
would
50
prove
bucks.
to NBC that he was more popular
Just like
than Gwen
capitalism,
Stefani,
girl. Got
and
all the
then
money,
they would
pay your
give him
scraps.
more money. He would also show them how good he was at improv with
Now this again is improv. Now I want y'all to listen, girl. Matter of fact, let me make it bigger right for this part, girl. I want y'all to listen to what is about to come out his motherfucking mouth. Listen.
his fake presidential announcement. And that's when things went off the rails.
They sweated like dogs. I'm really rich, I'll show you that. They do a website, it cost me $3. That I got from China in a war. The sun will rise, the moon will set. He wasn't a cheerleader, he was the opposite. Even our nuclear arsenal doesn't work. I think I'm actually a very nice person. We have nothing. I just sold an apartment for $15 million to somebody from China. I learned so much just sitting at his feet, playing with blocks. They're rapists, and some probably from the Middle East. And I promise I will never be in a bicycle race, that I can tell you. We now have a gun on every table. We're ready to start shooting. The American dream is dead.
He says it's cutting business ties with Donald Trump.
Donald Trump receives a pink slip of his own,
citing his derogatory statements, calling Mexican immigrants rapists, drug dealers, and criminals.
His plan backfired.
So he got axed for all that before. Got shut down for all of that racist, supremacist ass type of ideology and language and phrasing. But yet that's the exact same ideology, logic, phrasing, verbiage that helped him secure yet another win.
Fired. He was now out of a job. Though he had no real plans to run for president, his sons encouraged him to go ahead with the 2 rallies that he had booked and paid for. As he looked around at the adoring masses, a crowd the size of which he'd never seen before, he had his epiphany.
Didn't have to go tipping for that shit.
Maybe running for president wasn't such a bad idea after all.
So you got a man who, again, financially was pretty much set. I feel like if you can take care of your necessities and have an overwhelming amount of overflow, okay, I feel like you're pretty much well off. But what happens is that there are people who want to have everything and will do whatever it takes to have everything. And even when you have everything and you eventually get into a situation and you're bailed out of it, because we're going to hear about how Trump's bailed out of things, you still don't get it. You still haven't learned anything. You still haven't done any deep soul searching within yourself. And again, because of NBC paying Gwen Stefani more than you decided to be narcissistic about it, and now you have people behind you who are supporting the narcissism. And one thing a narcissist hates is to hate being made fun of. Because I want y'all to hear what happens next.
In fact, it was a brilliant idea. Fuck Gwen Stefani and fuck NBC. I'm going to be king of the world. There was no one happier with this decision than the nation's media.
Oh yeah.
Trump was about to become their cash cow. And NBC could now put him on TV for free. First, he gave them a good laugh.
We better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket next. I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on.
Then, he started telling them what to do.
But I want the cameras to span the room. Go ahead, fellas, watch. They don't turn them. They don't turn them. They don't turn them. Go ahead, turn them. Look, turn the camera. Go ahead. You with the blonde hair, turn the camera. Show them how many people come to these rallies.
Can y'all hear it well? Y'all hear it?
How the interviews would be conducted.
Hey, welcome back to Morning Joe. Let's bring in right now on the phone Donald Trump. How are you doing this morning, first of all, Donald?
I'm doing good.
I did a phoner. It's always good when they take you by phone. That means you're hot. We do phoners to meet the press.
Donald Trump himself.
Good morning, Chuck.
Welcome back to Meet the Press, sir.
Good morning, Chuck.
I'm joined now on the phone from New York.
It's so much easier, folks. You sit home. Hi, how you doing? How's everything going?
And then, just for fun, he'd mess with them by keeping them waiting. Like on this day in Portland, Maine.
Frontrunner Donald Trump expected to speak at a campaign rally in Portland, Maine.
Yeah, y'all sure enough got a nigga in there, girl. He may have white skin, but he got nigga energy, girl, because they always say that niggas is late, girl. So here it is, the president of the United States, or the president-elect, is already showing you how he's showing up. Do you really want someone to represent your damn country who show up late as hell? All the time? Can't that start wars? Because now you're disrespecting another president or another man of value and worth in reference to a country. Keeping him waiting, don't you think that that is wrong? Thank you, Queen Spicer. I love Queen Spicer, baby. She the only one that be rocking in with me, especially with my difficulties. I appreciate it. But let's listen around. Let me listen. Yeah, listen if y'all just not watching, y'all listening. But for me, let's watch and listen on how this man kept everybody waiting, girl, because again, it is not his opportunity and his time. The Apprentice was his shit where you're fired. Now he was fired, and now they playing on his time. And now that he is really trying to run to become president, Oh, he pulling out all the damn stops, baby. And you thought he pulled out the stops the first time. I can only imagine what the hell gonna happen on day one of him being sworn in.
And waiting.
So we're just expecting him to come out here in just a few minutes.
And waiting.
We're awaiting his remarks moments from now.
Not on stage yet, as you can see.
Once again, we're standing by live.
The candidate is just not.
Go ahead and toss it back to you. I think you're telling me Trump's coming out now, Fred?
You gonna have to wait.
No, you're good. You're good, Hal. You're good.
He's coming out. You're gonna have to wait. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
He can't seem to get a rally started on time.
You gonna have to wait.
Moment now.
Just wait, girl. We alert, girl. I wish I would, girl. My ass, look at her. See how she looking? See how she looking? That'd have been my ass. If this motherfucker don't come out in the next fucking 5 minutes, girl, I'm about to go on my smoke break, bitch. And whatever I miss, bitch, I'll be able to catch on the replay because y'all gonna replay this shit to death, girl. But that's how my face looking like right now with my finger. I'm getting ready to go. Okay? I'm getting ready to go. I'm finna dip. He put him hand on him hip. And he dip, I dip, we dip.
Even up in the balcony, take a look.
Supposed to begin about 25 minutes ago. We Donald Trump.
Oh, Lord.
False alarm. A bunch of people coming.
False alarm, girl. There's a lot of false
one
alarms.
of them is Donald.
He's getting ready to walk over to that lectern
Any minute now.
We've been watching and waiting for the better part of the half hour here.
I imagine he got a kick out of seeing just how long they put a live TV camera on his empty podium.
Let's just keep a watch here because
Let's go. Donald
Girl,
Trump.
no shade, bitch. He said if NBC gonna put me on for free, bitch, I'm gonna treat y'all like the niggas, girl. I'm sitting here disrespecting niggas, girl, but I got nigga energy in my spirit, girl. And the niggas had to learn it from the white people because they was the first niggas.
Thank you so much.
They just put it on us.
What a turnout.
if you go back to the rallies, let me ask you a question. Did you put the rallies on because they were of news value or because they were driving ratings?
Well,
Man, who would have expected the ride we're all having right now? This is pretty amazing, and, who would have thought that this circus would come to town? But, it may not be good for America, but it's damn good for CBS. That's all.
It may not be good for America, but it's damn near good for CBS. That's why I keep telling y'all, they don't care about us as people. They do everything in their power to try to find a way to monopolize on every aspect of our being. These news outlets that keep all the fear going on, they're not having any real ass conversations. It's a bunch of damaging competition going on instead of friendly, healthy competition. Again, they control the narrative about everything and want you to believe it, which is why they can control what you think and how you feel. While at the same time making buku amounts of money that unfortunately a lot of people will never ever be able to experience in this lifetime, let alone possibly the next. And even though these are executives of networks that make buku's amount of money, now there are people who make buku amount of money that are connected to Trump as far as his presidency, and that they're going to make so much more money during this or these next 4 years at our detriment, to our detriment.
The money's rolling in, and it's amazing. That's all I can say. I've never seen anything like this, and this is going to be a very good year for us.
All of the big networks were run by men. And
All the
their
big
biggest
networks
stars shared a lot in common with Donald Trump.
They share a lot in common with Donald Trump. What do they share in common with him?
the word judgment has been used a lot concerning your use of your personal email. Why wasn't it disqualifying if you want to be commander?
Again, if y'all want to see it in its original form, its raw form, you can definitely check the description about the boxes below and watch it there. But here's an individual who's connected to Trump, who is a sexual predator girl. Okay?
She She has to learn to do it with
We have
humor.
another
She doesn't
white
actually-
man
She's
with
being
power, girl.
kind of aggressive.
And I'm Mark Halperin. And I'm Donald Trump.
Y'all worried about the niggas, girl. Look at this. Sexual predator, girl.
Do you think the email crisis contributed to the question of trust?
It was certainly not a choice I would do again.
Okay, well, I want to hear you out on this. You said, I'm sorry.
That's
I made a
right.
mistake.
That's
it was
right.
the wrong thing to do.
That's right.
Another one, girl. Another one bites the dust, girl. You look like you're getting close to biting the dust.
Fox News has a secret formula, and we're never going to tell anybody what it is.
It's all these niggas, girl, who got kneecaps and a kneecap growing on their shit. Now I put on a little bit of weight because I've been out of town. You know what I'm saying? So I put on a little bit of weight. I still got my shape and I still look good. Okay? But at least I don't have a kneecap on, you know, growing from my chin to my nose. At least I don't have a motherfucking jowl, bitch. Okay? Girl. You can smuggle a damn midget. You can smuggle one of my damn cousins underneath his neck. Yes. Thrust.
There's got to be some downside to having a woman president, right? Something.
Another individual sexual predator.
Hold it. Let's get some more air conditioning. Hey, Matt, turn up the air conditioning. Up the air conditioning.
This malignant narcissist.
Let me tell you something. Y'all better get into mother marijuana. Y'all letting a lot of white people control y'all narrative about weed. Even though once deemed as something bad, they're making billions of dollars on, while there are black people who are still in prison to this day off of petty weed charges. Like, what more do y'all need to see before y'all start waking up and seeing shit? Does it have to be you personally? Does it have to take someone in your family having to deal with some shit like that? Because we always talk this shit about, oh, well, as long as it ain't me, until it is you. Then what? So, hell, yes, look, I'm going to be honest. You might have to start on that puff pass. Because weed has a bunch of properties to it. Now, if you start doing it in a way to escape your reality, then that's when it becomes dangerous. But to help you tolerate reality, to help you check in with your own inner reality, to try to use that to make you a better person, to become more aware of things, I would advise you do it. No shade. Because when you start smoking that puff pass, girl, you're gonna have fear before that and even during it. But then when you're dealing with it and you're dealing, you know, in the present moment, as you're high, you have now the option in that altered state to really deal with shit. So here, no shade. If you need to, go ahead and get you some of that puff pass. And when you do, let me know. Okay? Maybe I need to do a smoking live or something, a smoking panel. That would be dope in the future. A puff pass panel. Maybe that'd be something we can do on BubzDaGawd. But let's continue with Trump talking about cut the air on, girl. Because no shade, I get hot very fast too. I am a male, but goddamn it, I be feeling like I have menopause, girl, because I be sitting here hot, like, what the hell's going on? Why is it so damn hot in the air?
The one on the right, has always played the media for suckers and gotten away with it. I should know. Back in 19...
Now listen to this part. Again, this is Michael Moore, the individual right there on the screen, girl. As you will hear, a lot of people who will probably speak against Michael Moore today are the people, before he started speaking on them, that said that they love his work as a filmmaker. They love how he's able to put everything together to make everything make sense. So he has a sense of credibility. But this he's going to speak about is when Roseanne Barr had a show. And on that day, both Michael Moore and Donald J. Trump were scheduled to be on the show together. Because of how Michael Moore is with getting to the truth, Trump, the man with the money, Trump, the man with the power, Trump, the man with the influence, all of a sudden is scared to have a conversation with Michael Moore because Michael Moore gonna get to the motherfucking truth. But again, it's always the people. It's always the people who are the oppressed groups of people. The people who have not forgotten where they came from. who always have to show grace and mercy to a bunch of motherfuckers who don't deserve grace and mercy because they take grace and mercy for granted. And I want y'all to listen to what happened, because again, I love how everybody was talking about, oh well, Kamala, she's a female, she can't take care of the country, and she's gonna ruin the country, and if she's on menopause, girl, she's gonna press the damn button and blow everybody up. But yet y'all have a man who was almost $1 billion in fucking debt and got bailed out by some people who are not operating in morals and values. But yet y'all think y'all thought that he learned his lesson? Wow. Exactly. Queen Spicy. Menopause. Oh, when I say that, girl, they already feel some type of way about this whole queer shit, girl. Menopause. What's going on with menopause? What's happening now? Girl, shut up.
98, Trump and I were booked together on Roseanne Barr's new talk show. He did not know that he was scheduled to appear with me. I was all set to take him down, but he wanted nothing to do with it. I saw he was getting ready to leave.
Tell her, have a good time.
Girl, when that comb over was actually combing over, girl.
Roseanne's producers asked him to hold up and came and spoke with me and begged me to go easy on him.
I don't know. He was scheduled to be politically correct with me, and when he heard I was on, he skedaddled. So.
Did he really?
Yeah.
We're not, we're a daytime show, so there can't be.
What does she want to do?
She would love to have you both out there.
Have you asked him?
No, you were the usual ones to see.
Right.
You
I would hate to have to do that damn job.
I didn't want Trump to walk.
You don't want Trump. Move,
Screw
go,
up
bye.
Roseanne's
Thank
show,
you.
So the next thing I knew, I was playing nice.
I've been on unemployment 3 different times in my life.
But you know what? Neither one of us was ever $1 billion in the hole.
I was down, almost about 900 million in the negative sense.
Oh my God.
Instead of asking him which Russian mobsters bailed him out of his $1 billion debt, I just decided to make a joke.
And what unemployment line were you standing in?
I did learn one interesting tidbit. He had seen my movie, Roger and Me.
I tell you, I loved what he did. If I was Roger, I wouldn't have liked it, but I enjoyed it. I hope he never does one on me, though.
He says, I hope he never does one on me. So with that being said, I got to give somebody a mention real quick, because we play this person, girl, whenever there's some shit going on. No shade. You asked for it, so hey.
That's one thing. And
you wanted it,
okay,
and you got it.
You what?
You wanted it,
and you what?
And you got it. You would that vibe would never leave you, nor forsake you.
So that vibe, so that.
Okay, that vibe would never leave you nor forsake you, or Andrew said, nor forsake you, girl. And sometime I be sounding like him a little bit. No shade. Okay? But that's just funny he said that, baby. But also, just mention, again, this individual said, I love his work. And he's not the only person that loves his work. Let's listen further to the individuals that also love his work that are connected to Donald.
It's very interesting, bro, because I met Michael and had dinner with Michael years ago, and I found him to be a really nice guy, great guy.
I never had dinner with Donald Trump.
Never had dinner with that motherfucker.
You just made that up.
Made it up.
And that's not the only time I've been in Trump land. Here I am giving a back rub to Jared Kushner. Back in 2007, Trump's future son-in-law was so excited about socialized medicine, he threw the opening night party for my new movie.
I think Michael chooses very interesting topics.
Trump's son-in-law, girl, likes Michael more.
I think he's also one of the great people of stringing together an argument. He does a great job of putting together a lot of different clippings and a lot of different information in a way that it's very easily digestible by a lot of people.
If you had to throw out a topic for his next film, what do you think that would be?
Knowing Michael will be something that we're not thinking about. It's something that, really needs a light to be shined on it.
And you want to know who else had their grubby paws in my film?
Cool.
This guy. Years later, I discovered that it was Steve Bannon's company that did the home video release.
Michael Moore's a master of the craft. I'm just impressed.
He has integrity.
And the black woman says it right there. He has integrity. There comes a point in time where, baby, you just got to accept what the reality is showing you. And again, trust me, I understand. I am actively in the process of changing my reality to a more gratifying, purposeful reality. Because like I said, for some of you who follow me, I spent the majority of my 20s trying to chase relationships. And now that I'm in my 30s, I'm focusing more on myself. But that's what I mean by narcissism and privilege. It's to where y'all can literally do what the hell y'all want to do, and then when y'all called out on it, y'all can make it up or assume or make it believe or make us try to believe that, oh, it's not real, oh, it's whatever. But then y'all sit up here and honor individuals like Michael Moore who pays attention to what the fuck y'all be saying. Like how I be paying attention to what the fuck a lot of the individuals be saying. And how I can put clips together that actually make sense, that actually is cohesive. Now, as far as me giving context and nuance, baby, you're going to have to take a puff. And I be telling y'all, if y'all want to understand BubzDaGawd more, as far as what I'm saying, you're going to have to take a part of that herb, baby. Because that's the only way. It's kind of like when Jesus spoke in parables, girl, and people was like, what is he saying? What's going on? Yeah, you got to be higher in your awareness to understand. Let's continue, Steve Bannon. And shout out to the black chick, girl. This was Candace Owens, girl. She looked like Candace Owens, girl, when she actually was putting Cantu butter in her hair and shea butter on her face, and she had long, beautiful, luscious hair and had her edges. But continue.
I actually admire Michael Moore's filmmaking.
What's up, Queen Stevie?
I don't agree with his politics, but
thank you, the sexy leprechaun, girl.
Okay, I don't know what to make of that, but
shave, girl. I got
it seems
the
I'm
on
a
my
bit too
damn
comfortable
face.
with the enemy.
I took my hair out and washed it,
Here
girl.
I
My
am
hair a
on
little
Facebook
dry.
Live, just 2 days before the election, trying to inspire people to vote for Hillary, and guess who pops in?
So we outside the Trump Towers with Michael Moore trying to get people to vote for Hillary. And here comes this
Even if I
Skeletor
did know
girl.
Kellyanne from being on talk shows with her, this was over the top. As I snuggled there with Kellyanne on Fifth Avenue, 66 floors above us, sat the soon-to-be president, snuggling his bucket of KFC.
KFC girl.
And
now, we about to get into some really crazy shit here. Because y'all love talking about the homosexuals being pedophiles. I said it in that way. I know how it's really said, but I'm saying it that way. Pedophiles, girl. PDF files. Y'all saying that queer people are PDF files, girl, the drag queens coming to the school to read to your children and get them a little grab, a little sneak. Let me touch you on your no-no spot. All that type of stuff. But meanwhile, I want y'all to see and listen on Donald Trump's experience with his daughter. The very subtle sexual nature and things he says about his daughter. Because if y'all can do this about the drag queens, if y'all can do this about the gay people, and oh, what is this? It has to be evenly across the motherfucking board. That's what y'all don't understand. That's how truth works. Truth is across the board. So let's get into it. I'm going to kind of blow this up a little bit, girl, just so y'all can kind of get an idea. Now, this is Trump with his daughter, Ivanka. I think that's her name. Is it Ivanka, girl? I don't pay attention to them like that, girl, so I think it's Ivanka. But let's take a listen here, shall we?
made me think, how well did we really know Donald Trump?
How well did we know him? Look at that. Y'all think, oh, it's innocent. That Bubz, this is innocent. It's not harmless. I mean, it's harmless.
She's got marvelous legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
She got glorious legs and her titties. What else?
You know I got the Slade. I'm gonna be dating her in 10 years.
I'm gonna be dating her in 10 years, girl.
Who is this thing?
I'm going with Ivanka.
All the children know it's Ivanka, girl. Look at that. But yet, girl, if a black man decide to kiss his black son on the forehead or on the cheek or give him a hug, oh, that's gay. But all this is okay.
6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
When Ivanka Trump came on stage, it's nice to see a dad kiss his daughter. Trump responded, he kisses her every chance he gets.
Kiss her every chance he gets.
Did your daughter get breast implants?
know, she's actually always been very voluptuous.
Howard Stern asked, did your daughter get breast implants? He said no, because if she would have, I would have known. Y'all, my phone ringing. I have my shit on Do Not Disturb, girl. And yet the phone calls are getting in. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me fix this camera issue. I'm gonna have to, hold on, y'all. Okay, what's going on with the camera? I'm gonna have to come back in and then come back out. Give me 1 second, y'all. But look at that. I want y'all to take a look real quick while I do this real quick. Good, let me can I refresh this shit? What's going on? Can I remove this, girl? How I'm remove? But I want y'all to look, girl, because all this stuff, baby. And my camera's still acting weird. Hold on. Maybe I gotta swipe it and come back in. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we back in business. Anyway, let's continue, girl. Come on.
You are special. You remind me of my daughter. I like you.
And even said he had a great pair of titties.
And you had sex with him? Yes.
You look like my daughter. And did you have sex with him? Yes.
He's very proud of Ivanka. He said I was beautiful like her.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Does this make you feel uncomfortable?
Does it? Does this make you feel uncomfortable, like how y'all felt uncomfortable when the drag queens were reading to the children, or whenever the children were at pride events? Did that make you feel uncomfortable? Did that make you feel uncomfortable when you see two gay men with a child walking around the park minding their own motherfucking business, and how that makes you feel uncomfortable? But that didn't make you feel uncomfortable? But yet, y'all was comfortable enough to allow this man to become president once again. Not again, but once again.
I don't know why. None of this is new.
Exactly, Queen Stevie.
He's always committed his crimes in plain sight.
In plain sight.
Expect to be successful in court.
We knew about this. Should he have ever been able to build or own another apartment building? He did this too, right? Demanding the execution of 5 innocent black teenagers.
And let's all hate these people, because maybe hate is what we need if we're going to get something done. You don't know who did that.
This is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all asked for. And I'm just here to remind you simply on what you asked for. That's all I'm here for, is to remind you. That's it. Let's continue.
And we all definitely knew about this.
All I want to do is see this guy's birth certificate.
And yet, neither you nor I called or wrote NBC
America's boss, Donald Trump,
to have an admitted racist removed from the air. His racism, his misogyny.
To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked in a very physically vulnerable position.
You know, I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You better.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they stayed in there with no clothes. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
All of this done out in the open, as if by doing it publicly, it was okay. No one would object. Even committing treason on worldwide TV was acceptable because he didn't hide it.
President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
Trump loves the strong man, the autocrat, the dictator. Take these two strongman CEOs. They go way back. The one on the right became the governor of Michigan before
we about to get into some Michigan shit. Let's listen to
the
this.
one on the left became the president of the United States.
And again, I had to flip the image. So originally, Trump is on the left and old dude on the right.
Before Donald J. Trump would be unleashed on the world, we here in Michigan got a coming attraction for what you would all soon experience. It began in 2010 when a Republican named Rick Snyder was elected governor of Michigan.
Right.
He had no experience in public service, but he was very, very good at foosball. And he was very, very rich. He had been CEO of Gateway Computers. You remember, right? Piece of shit computer. And he told the voters of my state that he was going to run Michigan like a business.
I was hired to serve our citizens. They're my customers.
Ah, yes. We're the customers. The customers of the big business that he was running. The ones that would pay for his billion-dollar tax break for the rich.
The Michigan business tax is gone.
Emboldened by his victory, he was not satisfied with just being governor. He wanted more power. And how do you get more power? You scare the people and declare an emergency.
If you want more power, you scare the people into an emergency.
Governor Rick Snyder appoints an emergency manager.
Prop 1, the emergency financial manager. Citizens got their emergency manager, and it is official.
State police and a security team out to try and keep the peace.
The emergency manager bill is now a law. Governor Snyder signed the emergency manager law,
even though there was no emergency. He staged a coup. He removed from power the elected mayors and city councils of Detroit, Flint, Pontiac, and Benton Harbor, and installed his cronies to run them in the way that he saw fit. This was a premeditated plan to reduce and privatize public services so that corporate people like him could make more money.
This is from 2020, 4 years ago. This is what happened during Trump's presidency. Removed people, officials that the people wanted in there, that the people voted for in those communities, removed and then replaced with a bunch of motherfuckers who know how to destroy shit and do it in such a way to where they're going to get a return off of it. Queen Stevie says, and today makes 4 years since the what happened at the Capitol. Now this man is going to be soaring back into power, backed by rich oligarchs on January 20th. Yeah. Again, we just reminding the people of what's to come, so that when the shit start happening and then people act surprised, we be like, no. You remember? Do you remember this? Do you remember? Do you remember the time, girl? Double thought. Do you remember? Let's continue.
People don't think that this is happening in the United States. If you don't say like Flint, Michigan, and you just say the powers of this person, like they'll think like it's Honduras. this is a way to target Black and brown communities.
It was a king. The governor put a king into the city of Flint, and he ruled without being responsible to anyone.
Look at the cities in Michigan that are under emergency management.
Once the governor took over.
The governor took over. At one point, 50% of African Americans in the state were under emergency management, compared to 2% of whites.
Governor Snyder's idea to remove democracy from Michigan's black cities so impressed the future president that he came to offer his support.
Can you share your thought on an emergency manager situation that's still unfolding in our city?
Well, that is unfolding. I've been reading about the emergency manager, and my attitude is whatever it takes to make that next step. We could say this maybe a little bit about the country. Whatever it takes to get into the next step is what I would support.
Governor Snyder wanted to flex his new autocratic powers. He saw an opportunity to take advantage of the poorest city in the country and of the largest source of fresh water in the world. Option A was that he could just leave well enough alone. After all, for 5 decades, the city of Flint got its water from Lake Huron, a 10,000-year-old pure glacial lake, water delivered to Flint through publicly owned pipelines. Or there was option B. Why not build a new, completely unnecessary pipeline that would benefit investors, his major campaign donors, and banks like Wells Fargo? The only catch was that while the new pipeline was being built, Flint would have to switch over from Lake Huron to the industrial sewage ditch known as the Flint River.
We believe there was a significant financial fraud that drove this.
Was it for the benefit of the local unit of government or for the individual?
Individuals.
Individuals who are doing it for themselves.
Yes. I believe greed drove this.
In April of 2014, the governor switched the city of Flint's drinking water to the Flint River.
Here's the Flint.
Here's the flag.
Here is his team toasting each other over what would amount to, in essence, a slow-motion ethnic cleansing.
3, 2, 1.
Some residents are wondering, will we see a change?
And I'm just going to be honest. The reason why they do what they do is because we allow them to do that. These motherfuckers literally poured up champagne to celebrate the fact that now we're going to build a new pipeline that's going to benefit us as the individuals, as the investors, as the individuals with the resources and power to bring in more resource and power, but undercut people like you, people like me. Girl, of course. Girl, of course. I think we're still live. It says stream unavailable. Can y'all even hear me? Test 1 2 3. Girl. There we go. Listen. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. This is what pisses me off. This is why I get upset and I speak the way I do in reference to capitalism. Capitalistic people are so gung-ho about owning every motherfucking thing that they would try to have their paws on that, so that even if you're doing a live under fair use. And some people say, well, normally if it's fair, if you're using fair use, 9 times out of 10, it's not. For one, I'm not getting paid for this shit. I know my channel, this channel would never be qualified to be monetized because of the way that I speak. So I understand that. But here it is, we're trying to get some information out that people are forgetting about, and then here comes the, oh, well, the stream is blocked under the violation of this. Girl, where's the super chats at? Because according to what is out there, and what I've read and said on every live and every video, is that it says non-profit or educational tips the balance in favor of fair use. I did not say I made this. I'm not putting this up here and then asking people to send me money for it. I am using this as a form and a way to educate people about what's going on. If I gotta pause and stop and pause and stop and pause and stop, we're gonna pause and stop and pause and stop and pause and stop until we get through with this. Queen Stevie said, and black people sit this one out. But be aware and be vigilant. This is not our fight, because this is what half of America voted for. They voted to protect white privilege. Exactly. Which is why, again, now I think us as oppressed groups of people, or I call survivor groups of people, we need to come together and work our shit out. Point blank, period. I'm just doing this live to remind Americans of what they asked for, what they signed up for. But let's continue, because y'all will see, they didn't want to stop all that shit when we was talking about Trump ass and his ass on NBC and all that type of stuff. But when we start talking about the actual factual stuff, like with Flint, now all of a sudden y'all want to block the stream. The stream is unavailable. And again, you ain't got to just take my word for it. You can watch this documentary unedited in its raw original version by clicking the link down below. And on top of that, who knows? Maybe if this fucking live gets copyrighted or whatever, maybe I'll try to reach out to Michael Moore and see if I can get his permission to stream this. Because something gonna happen for BubzDaGawd in 2025 in reference to my activism. And the fact that I'm putting my channel on the line multiple times proves that. But anyway, let's continue.
Average resident won't notice any difference.
Average resident will not see the difference in water. They won't see no difference. Ain't no difference in the water.
The average residents notice the difference.
In days.
A big difference.
A big difference. Look at that, girl. Look like dirty ass water, girl, from some of them niggas on the Red Pills panel, girl. If them hoe ass niggas ever got into a shower or a bath, girl, this is the water we would see, bitch. Like Coca-Cola in the tub.
Their hair started to fall out.
Hair started to fall out.
Skin rashes appeared all over their bodies.
Skin rashes all over the body.
And the children got sick.
And the children. Remember all the, oh, we gotta protect the children. Oh, the children. Oh my God, the children. They're coming for the children, girl. But what about these children? What about the children on the screen here? And this ain't just black people getting affected. There's white people and other ethnic groups of people that live in Flint as well who are getting affected by this.
Parents whose children showed no symptoms were still worried that they might be sick. Because
I'm gonna have to keep pausing, y'all.
as one doctor noticed, nearly every child had ingested lead.
Every child had ingested lead.
There is no safe level of lead in a body of anybody. There is no safe level of lead. It is potent and it is irreversible, which means once it is in your blood, it wreaks havoc.
Girl, this is pissing me off. And I'm not even off of edible. I'm sober right now. This shit is ridiculous. You got a bunch of white, rich motherfuckers, girl, who took something that was not broke and created this emergency, this fraud emergency, to say that something had to break just to be able to create a new pipeline and then give the people the toxic water that these individuals created. And I'm talking about the capitalistic people creating this. and now a healthcare professional who actually upholds the Hippocratic Oath, is saying that because of this switch that happened in Flint, now there's lead in the water. And once lead is in the body and in the bloodstream, it is irreversible and it wreaks havoc. Little kids' hairs is falling out. Little kids are having rashes appear on their skin. The children are sick. And what do you think happened that time when the conversation was about Flint? Did it ever get fixed? If it has, please let me know. I mean, I can look it up. Matter of fact, let me do it right now. Do my due diligence. Excuse me. Let me ask Google real quick. Hold on. Is the Flint water crisis resolved? Girl, the Flint water crisis is not yet resolved, though the city's water system has met state and federal lead standards for drinking more than 13 consecutive monitoring periods. So they're trying to get it done, but it's not done yet. Meanwhile, the individuals who caused this shit, they ended up putting their money in the situation? Did they end up being the individuals to back the funding to fix the problem that they created?
You mean irreversible for how long?
Forever.
Forever.
It literally drops IQ levels of children.
Drops the children's IQ levels, which makes them less intelligent, which means it's easier to lock those kids up, or better yet, train these children through the school to prison pipeline, so that now not only are we going to make money off of destroying the children while they're younger, we're going to make money off of the children being in trouble, not being able to learn, have all these learning difficulties, while they're a child, and then when they get into the juvenile system, we making money, and then of course when they become an adult, we'll definitely make money off of them, and then we'll have free labor through the prison system. Like,
it leads to impulse disorder, and then memory issues, violent behavior, aggressiveness. It also impacts your DNA. Moms exposed to lead, you can see the DNA changes in their grandchildren.
Wow.
Word of the developing disaster reached the governor's office. And so he quietly dispatched an aide to Flint to find out what exactly was going on. The report came back with bad news.
What happened? The bad news, girl.
The state investigator recommended switching immediately back to the Lake Huron water. But the governor seemed to have other thoughts, like getting PR people to make the problem go away. Water that...
Girl. Using your money to get this shit removed, girl. Using your... When he said he gonna run Flint like a business, he was not lying. He told everybody up front. See, he thought that as far as business was, okay, we're going to get more business to Flint. We're going to get more jobs, more opportunities. We're going to be able to attract a job that we can work, which is one job as opposed to 2 or 3. Like, we're going to have something good here. But it was like, nah, I'm going to turn Flint into a business for me and my peoples. And when the time came, because again, you are the governor, which means at the end of the day, you serve the motherfucking people. But yet when these results came in from doctors about the impact of that change, that shift from the fresh lake to a more polluted lake that was created by said people with power and privilege, for them to actually do the right thing for the people, this individual said, no, we'll just get some PR motherfuckers to try to make this shit go away. As if though the lead that's in the blood of these children can ever go away. Because unlike his ideology of trying to remove the situation and using his money and power and privilege to remove the situation, these children are not going to be able to remove lead from their blood that is going to impact their health. That is going to impact their memory. That's going to impact their emotions. That's going to want to make them be more violent, because no one is willing to understand them, because they don't even understand what the fuck is happening to their own body, because of a bunch of rich white men who wanted to make as much money as possible, and off of the backs and at the detriment of the actual people. This is crazy. Let's continue.
Leaving the plant is always assured to be at the top notch of quality.
For the governor, there was an even greater tragedy.
Which
the Flint
was?
River water was corroding the auto parts at the General Motors factory. When the governor heard this, he blew his top. After all, General Motors had donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Republican Governors Association to help elect candidates like Rick Snyder. And here he was, damaging their property.
Girl, what? So the blood in the black children's body and the people of color's bodies were not important enough to make the switch. But now that this switch is impacting the people who do work at General Motors, and it's impacting the actual items and products and things being created itself, now you want to take a second glance at it? And I mean, just like Michael Moore said, I mean, well, yeah, these people were donating hundreds of thousands of dollars, so.
For Governor Snyder, that was a bridge too far. He immediately ordered the water in Flint to be switched back to Lake Huron, but only for the General Motors factory. The people of Flint will continue to drink the poisoned water.
Nobody's going to believe this, that the one GM factory that's remaining here in Flint, they got to hook back up to the fresh, clean Lake Huron water, and everybody else.
And we were like, well, what's happening to our bodies? And they were like, they went back to, it's safe, it's meeting all federal and state guidelines. And that was like the drum.
But the auto parts that had to be washed through the factory had to have the clean, pure water.
Yeah.
From Lake Huron.
Yeah, because profit reigns supreme.
Ah, girl.
We didn't own General Motors. That's why we didn't get like the clean, safe water.
So, you know, Trump is looking at this whole Flint water poisoning, and he's got to be thinking, wow, the governor got away with poisoning a majority black city? What will I be able to get away with?
Ha! Become president again for the second time, which he has accomplished. Not by his own merit, because there's really no merit there, but based again off of what really speaks. They say that money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil. It is the love of money. What these men are doing, the love of the dollar bill, that is the root of all evil. But it's also in this world the answer to a lot or the majority of problems. This is what I mean by these individuals get to do this stuff to us and we just let them. We just, oh, well, we can't do anything. We better find something to do. We have to find something to do. Because if we do not, this is the fate of your children and your children's children and your children's children's children. Why are the black kids being affected at a young age? But y'all have the nerve to believe that drag queens are destroying your children more so than what the fuck these motherfuckers did. Because at least with the drag queens, let's say they're allegedly just playing a game with the drag queens and the children, at least the makeup comes off. At least the exaggerated big ass Bumblebee Amy Winehouse no wig comes off. At least the sparkly ass dress girl comes off. At least all the garments of these things, all the things that is put together or that is created or used, shall I say, to create a drag queen is removed. Can those children remove the lead from their blood? Can those children manifest or go back, shall I say, to being healthy? That doctor said that again, the lead in these children's bodies are irreversible. Girl.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Look at my African. Look at my nigga. Remember that. Remember this. Remember that. Remember that? See?
Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. I will pay for the legal fees, I promise.
Did y'all forget he was inciting all of this too? Did y'all forget that he was inciting all of this too? Funny how we forget.
Now there's a remnant.
Girl, the stream is unavailable again, girl. We gonna make this work. 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 We gonna make this work, bitch. We gonna make this work. We gonna make this work. We gonna make this work. We gonna make this work, bitch. We gonna make this work. Because we still live. We still live. Girl, we still live. We still live. And still is. I'll wait for this stream to come back up. And still is. And still is. And still is, girl. This is why I don't like the fact that all these corporations are ran by these type of people who want all the money, girl. They be so gung-ho about copyright infringement because they want all the money. Like I said, we back in this bitch. And we gonna have to do it a different type of way. So I'm gonna leave this on. Because now if they do this shit because of the audio that I worked on trying to alter, because again, this is something that came out in 2020. This is something that came out in 2020. Again, I'm not making any money off of this. And we're gonna keep going until they shut the stream off. Y'all ain't gonna pull no Flint shit on me trying to switch my shit up, but no, you're not. So what we're gonna do is listen instead of being seen, because I was trying to be more visual. But if this was the case, I could have did this shit on damn OBS instead of StreamYard, wasting my time, my free 20 hours of StreamYard. But you're not gonna be able to see my face because I gotta be able to listen to the video. So I'm sorry, y'all already saw enough of it. It's all over my face. So now we just gonna have to take a listen. So let's see if they block the stream this time through audio.
Yeah, he's right there. Hello.
I'm gonna show you what's going on. They punching the black man in the face, girl. This is back at his first rallies, girl, when he was inciting the racism. Ripped him out of his seat. And then what's happening is that Michael Moore is showing video clips during the civil rights movement of white people in the streets pushing black students who were going to integrated schools, girl, like. I'm gonna have to, I guess, narrate it to you. They building the wall, girl. You getting flashbacks. The little kids inside the school, girl. The kids were again where people supposed to be safe at. The children. are yelling, build the wall. I remember when that clip came out.
America great again.
Make America great again. Yeah, we got a swastika here.
I will tell you that our system is broken. You know, most of the people on this stage I've given to, just so you understand. Before this, before 2 months ago, I was a businessman. I give to everybody. When they call, I give. And you know what? When I need something from them, 2 years later, 3 years later, I call them. They are there for me. And that's a broken system.
He was right. It is a broken system. So he decided to break it some more.
Girl. Did you break
by eliminating all 16 Republican contenders?
And you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency.
Listen, excuse me 1 second. Well, this guy's a joke artist, and this guy's a liar.
One by one, he took down the Republican elites.
Donald Trump said, quote, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that, the face of our next president?"
And boy, did it feel good watching him neuter the final Bush.
They lied. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. We should have never been in Iraq.
I am sick and tired of him going after my family.
Excuse me, 1 second.
No.
I
The
didn't
simple
want
fact
to
is,
get
you cannot take
more energy tonight. I
Watch
like
these
that.
two white men
back
argue.
in
It's
the
hilarious.
business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
After destroying the Republican Party, Trump decided to outflank Hillary on the left.
Unlike her, who voted for the war without knowing what she was doing, I would not have had our people in Iraq.
Taking one position after another that was more liberal than hers.
Don't vote for a Wall Street sellout like Hillary Clinton.
You made 3 speeches for Goldman Sachs. You were paid $675,000.
That's what they offered.
On days where she would make 1 or 2 campaign stops.
Hillary Clinton attending a number of private fundraisers, building those campaign coffers.
Trump was holding
Big rallies in important swing states.
You know, it's not a good sign when your campaign is sending cardboard cutouts instead of you.
Her approval ratings are still underwater, and so better to send in either surrogates who are more popular or surrogates who can sort of fly under the radar and just visit with volunteers.
And make sure that your bumper sticker is just big enough so no one can see it.
The American people that live outside the Beltway, that's the real America. That's the real people out there. And those are the real people who are going to go vote by the millions for Donald J. Trump.
Real America sees what's going on here. What I would call
Real America.
the real America, which is working class.
The people out here in real America think is crazy.
There seems to be a misunderstanding about who the real America is.
Yes, please help us understand, because I'm trying to understand what the hell real Americans is. But see, I know what they mean by real Americans. And people like myself is not considered a real American unless I am licking the feet and sucking the dick of white privilege. Let's continue.
Let me share with you a fact that has never been stated in the press, or reported on the nightly news, or even spoken amongst ourselves.
Right, which is?
The United States of America is a leftist country. That's right. We are one rockin', shit-kicking, gay-loving, gun-rejecting, race-mixing, pot-smoking, tree-hugging, hip-hopping, anywhere breastfeeding, quinoa cooking, left-leaning liberal nation. Here are the facts.
Bunch of goats on white women doing yoga.
Pro-choice.
77% of Americans are pro-choice. This is in 2018, girl. Again, if you want to see the documentary, because I was trying to show it, but YouTube on the capitalistic shit don't want me to show it, because again, they feel like I'm doing infringement of copyright, girl, when the shit that I'm reviewing was uploaded on YouTube. The hell? You can click the link down below and watch it for yourself. But again, 71%, excuse me, of Americans are pro-choice. Again, this was in 2018.
They want equal pay for women.
82% are for equal pay for women.
Stronger environmental laws.
74%, okay, laws, environmental regulations.
Legalized marijuana.
Legalize marijuana, girl, for what was that? 91%, girl, 91% for the raising of the minimum wage.
A raise in the minimum wage.
70% for all Medicaid.
Medicare for all.
Or Medicare.
Tuition-free college.
Yep,
Free
90%.
childcare. Support for labor unions. A cut in the military budget. Break up the big banks. Most Americans don't even own a gun. And 75% believe that immigration is good for the U.S. And
it's so funny we're saying all of this stuff. That again, according to the stats that Michael Moore was able to put together, and again, Michael Moore is credible because his enemies have said that he was credible. That during that time, America is a leftist country. We were more liberal, more understanding, more aware. And all of the things that Michael Moore listed off, again, doing it through his research in context and nuance. That we were for this stuff, and now all of a sudden, Americans are totally against all this shit now? All of a sudden? Just all of a sudden. All of a sudden. No rhyme, no reason, nothing that is based in objective fact and logic.
on and on and on. Heck, Texas isn't even white anymore. Houston had a lesbian mayor. When you think Texas, you need to think lesbian.
All politics people.
The values they stood for in the 60s and 70s
This is a meeting of American radicals.
are now the beliefs of this great land.
Put your whole face over that. Yes, there.
Got old white women hitting bongs and shit, ripping bongs.
Have won. And I love the smell of essential oils in the morning. If America is us, and we're the majority, why is it that we do not hold a single seat of power?
Well, we got to start asking ourselves that even more. If we, the American people, and I'm talking about the actual American people who care about humanity, that whatever bias that they grew up with, they're challenging that bias because of the objective factual reality of what is. How is it that all of us who care about, again, humanity and the intersections and expressions and facets of that, how come we, or how is it that we don't have one seat of power, girl? A bunch of individuals making choices for us who don't even see themselves as us.
Not the White House, not the Senate, not the House, not the Supreme Court. In 50 of our state capitals, the Democrats control only 8 of them.
Wow.
Yet in 6 of the last 7 presidential elections, the popular vote was won by the Democrats, which means the Republicans have won only once in the last 30 years. This is the ceremony that takes place every 4 years, when the votes of the Electoral College are brought in to the U.S. Congress inside baby coffins.
Girl, what? Y'all don't see how this shit is a game? Y'all don't see how this shit... That's why it's like, you know, I really want to have children. I want to have children of my own, even though I'm a same-gender loving man. There are procedures out there that can be done to make sure that I can bring children into this world, to bring life into this world that's on of my own blood. But now I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to bring children into this world? This particular world? Do I want to continue the tradition that so many black people have to continue with their children. Not any healthy, fruitful, or life-giving or affirmative traditions, but the fact of I have to tell my children or my black son in the future, hey, if the police do this to make sure you survive the encounter. And that no matter what I do to protect my child, that if there is someone in law enforcement who sees him or just stereotypes him, that it doesn't matter about my son's character, my son's rap sheet. Doesn't matter of all these other things, because my son probably won't have a rap sheet if I'm his damn dad. Because I'm going to love on my son to be able to say, look, bro, you're going to have to be able to love yourself and figure your shit out. To where my son ain't going to be in trouble like that. That my son's character and his way of life, whatever that may be, in a healthy way, all that can be overshadowed because he looks like them niggas I've seen on Fox News or on these news outlets who are committing all these crimes. So I gotta be, you know, on guard and have heightened awareness around this person. And that my son, my future son, could possibly have his life snuffed out on the grounds of him being black and black alone. But let's get back to the Electoral College, girl. The one thing that fucked up the fact that, girl, Electoral College is for the rich and wealthy people to cast their damn vote, which is God over all, and then have the nerve to bring that shit out in baby coffins.
What they should do is bury those ballots with the Electoral College itself, the last vestige in our Constitution that was written to appease the slave states over 200 years ago. People, can we please be done with this?
The Sergeant at Arms remove the protesters from the gallery. Chamber will be in order. Change will be in order.
You can't call it a democracy if the person who gets the most votes doesn't win. So if the American people have made it very clear that they want the Democrats running the country, then why aren't they?
I'm prepared to make a whole range of compromises.
Compromise.
Compromise.
Compromise. Compromise.
Well, we sat down and made a compromise.
Compromise. Compromise.
Compromise.
And real
Love this word.
compromises.
Compromise. Compromise. Compromise.
Compromise only works if both parties are willing to compromise something. That's it. But again, it's always the survivor groups that have to compromise on certain things. Because the compromise happens to be able to make sure that both parties get what they want. To be satisfied and say, I can do that. Okay, I can do that. The issue is the whole situation and reference to compromise is really compromise between rich motherfuckers without regard of those that are not rich, that are not wealthy, that are not privileged. Let's continue.
God bless you, Speaker Daniel.
So when did all this compromising start? As far back as the last president who said,
"Make America great again."
Girl.
No, not him.
We can make America great again.
Him, Mr. Bill
Clinton.
Clinton, the man
Clinton
from
Bill.
Hope, Arkansas. Back in the 80s and 90s, Republican campaigns were flush with corporate cash, and they were winning elections. The Democrats, meanwhile, saw their labor base decimated. Labor was so lost, they couldn't even come up with something to put on their picket signs. So what better way to get in on the action than to start acting like a Republican? Bill Clinton went on a tear, launching a mass incarceration of black people.
I told you I gotta keep pausing, girl, so the stream will keep going. I'm nervous of what the hell this is gonna be after I do it. And damn, what the hell we gonna have for part 2? I gotta figure that out. But now we are having a mass incarceration of black men. So that wasn't just happening during the Reagan administration with Reaganomics and the war on drugs and the war on crime. that even in the late 80s, early 90s, girl, Bill Clinton ass wanted to be Republican because that's where all the money was. Again, these individuals want the money. These are not people who care about the American people, hard-working people. These are not the presidents who will roll their damn sleeves up and do something to help the people, you know, without it being a photo op. But now there is a mass incarceration of black people. Like, what do y'all think is going to happen these next 4 years? I wouldn't be surprised if there was a mass incarceration of black people.
Regulating the banks to let them run amok. Shipping 1 million jobs to Mexico under the guise of free trade. Eliminating most welfare support for the poor. And making it illegal to marry someone of your gender. But you might have started asking yourself why you should even be participating in the political process. Millions began to drop out. The 100 million non-voters of America were essentially the country's largest political party. Yet neither the Democrats nor the Republicans sought their vote. As the Democrats became more like Republicans, so did the entire liberal establishment, led by the paper of record.
Our source was the New York Times.
Catering to big business, minimizing social movements like Occupy Wall Street, and cheerleading every war we got into.
So a lot of paper news clippings. Again, if you want to watch it, you can watch it. You can watch it again in the description box below. What's up, Deshaun? What's going on, King? Deshaun says, well, all I'm going to say is America's over with. They put in the poorest people that will control this country in a bad way. These people are narcissists, and these are the people. They be saying, don't do gay stuff. Don't be a pedophile. Don't do all that. Meanwhile, they're doing the opposite of what they're doing in that office behind closed doors, messing with children. But that's why, again, in the age of Aquarius that we're in now, which is why all this change is happening in such a way and everybody's awake and everybody's scared and stuff, is because I feel like it's giving us an opportunity to actually make some shit work, to make some shit happen, and to change for the betterment of humanity. Because at the end of the day, we are all humans. But there are some people who tend to believe that we're not, because again, historically speaking, the oppressed groups of people or the undesirables, their only purpose in this world, according to them, is to work and to be slaves. They're not to be treated as people. They're not meant to live a full life, and if so, they live a life that we tell them to live. We control how much money they have. We control how they're employed. If these individuals want to create a union, we know how to destroy that. If these individuals want to create political movements or political moves to be able to better their life, as you can objectively and factually see, need help, that these individuals can use the resources, the money, the power, and the privilege to be able to destroy all of that, just like they destroyed Black Wall Street. Just like how, again, earlier with Flint, Michigan, these narcissistic, capitalistic people came in and created a new water line that was meant for their investors, and everybody else in Flint drinks from this toxic, dirty-ass, poisonous-ass water that has lead in it. And that the governor of Michigan at that time, Snyder, because the Flint water was messing with General Motors plants and corroding the equipment and corroding the creations of General Motors, as far as the body frames and all that type of stuff for the vehicles, that when it started affecting GM, that Rick Snyder said, okay, well, we can bring in the fresh water from Lake Huron, but it's only going to go to General Motors. Meanwhile, everybody else in Flint and the children are getting sick, getting lead in their body and their blood, causing hair loss, causing memory problems. it's like, what are they going to do now? Like, it's going to be the same bullshit, but like, what are they going to do now? How are they going to spin it? How are they going to change the narrative of it? What is it going to be these next 4 years? And these individuals are already telling us on day one, they have things going on. There's a mass immigration as far as removing immigrants in a mass way that they're trying to do. You telling me that these individuals ain't going to try to do no mass shit with black people? Even though historically we have seen this? That's why they don't want black people to learn their history. That's why whiteness doesn't want critical race theory, because now we get to look at y'all asses. Now we get to see some of the stuff that you've done. And if you're not a racist white person, then you ain't really got nothing really to worry about for real in reference to something or smoke or fever from the oppressed groups of people. Now you might face smoke and fever from your own kind, who are probably saying that you're stupid to throw away your privilege that you were born with. To help them niggas over there? To help those faggots over there? And again, all this happens because we allow it to happen. We allow the fear to control us. And that fear, unlike, see, we are as a oppressed group of people. Hold on. We are sowing in something generational for our children. Unfortunately, it's not physical, tangible wealth. It's fear. It's fear that has been injected into this situation. Fear. And all fear is, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. We got to do something quick. Because I'll be damned if I have children and my children got to live in this society in the same way that their father and that my father and that his father and so many other black fathers had to live. Let's continue further.
What they needed to see was American boys and girls going house to house from Basra to Baghdad, basically saying, suck on this.
It also tries to dictate elections. Bernie Sanders' message resonates with a certain age group, his own. That's the headline. When you read that now, after, seeing what actually happened.
Seeing Bernie in person and like hearing.
The purpose of that article was to try to stop you.
Michael, it was more than just that article. Look, we were a real threat to the liberal establishment. Because if you think that the New York Times or the Washington Post is really going to be talking about the issues that are important to working people in this country, are going to be talking about the need to take on the billionaire class, you would be very mistaken.
And that's why I also stated, and I said, that no shade, both the left and the right, both Democrat and Republican, in reference to those that control the power in those two parties, are two wings on the same bird. The Republicans cater to the rich and the wealthy and those that make America great or trying to keep America above float. Because again, let's not forget how this country was created. It wasn't created off of puppies, sunshine, and rainbows and Skittles and shit. It was created off of the backs of slaves. This country is saturated with the blood, sweat, and tears of indigenous people. And that's how the system has been going for so long. Which is why with Bernie Sanders, even though he was an older man, his vision and his thoughts were about the people of tomorrow. There needs to be an independent party that can contend with the left and the right. Because if not, we're going to continue this cycle of getting our hopes up all the time just for them to come crashing down. History will continue to repeat itself because we are afraid to literally change it. And one way that it will stop changing is if we allow fear to be that roadblock, to be that wall. Yeah, for the individuals on YouTube who've been talking about protecting the children, oh, about the children, not my daughter, not my child, the children. Yeah, it's time to really think about the children and the future of children. Did y'all think about the future of the children of Flint? Oh, I guess because it's not happening to you in your neighborhood, it ain't nothing you need to worry about. Okay, got it.
People believed Bernie, and he was sincere in what
I believe
he
if he got elected, he was going to do these things.
Right.
I was a big Bernie person, and Bernie won every single county in West Virginia. Counties.
Yes.
Every single county went for Bernie, and bingo, Hillary came in third place behind somebody named Paul Farrell. I don't even know who that is, okay?
Even though Bernie Sanders won all 55 counties in West Virginia, with Hillary not winning a single county, the West Virginia Democratic Party went to the Democratic National Convention and told this lie to the American people.
West Virginia, how do you Madam Secretary, 19 votes for the next president of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton, and 18 votes for Senator Bernie Sanders.
A single lone West Virginian did her best to put her little homemade sign within the camera frame so that the American people would know the truth.
Wow.
The West Virginia Democratic Party decided to alter the results of the West Virginia primary by ignoring the will of the people and adding their own super delegates, i.e. party loyalists, people picked by the party hacks. Just like all the state Democratic parties did.
Indiana, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Michigan, Hillary Clinton. Montana, Hillary Clinton. New Hampshire, Hillary Clinton. Rhode Island, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Vermont, Hillary Clinton.
Hillary! I move that the convention suspend the procedural rules, and I move that Hillary Clinton be selected as the nominee of the Democratic Party.
Because Bernie ain't. Well, Bernie did win, but they play. Do you see how this shit works? That's the thing about money. You have individuals who hoard up all this money from the American people that can literally make American people's lives better. That can actually organically improve the quality of life for Americans, therefore meaning that the quality of life of Americans will then transmute over to the quality of work these Americans do for these companies. Do you see how if these companies were to do the right thing, were to actually care about their employees as opposed to the customer always being right, your employees are right because they are the red blood cells. They are the lifeline that keeps this body going. But how you can keep all that wealth up, preventing people from actually making real changes, and then when it's time for you to deal with the objective change that is factual and that is real and organic, you can use money to overshadow that. Yeah, y'all better hope that Jesus don't come back, girl, because if Jesus do come back, according to the narrative, he gonna be dealing with y'all first. He gonna be dealing with the world because he died for the world. He understood how the world was, which is why he died for the world. But for the people who are claiming to walk in his likeness, oh, y'all gonna have some serious explaining to do. And you're not gonna be able to use the world as a scapegoat because Christ ain't looking at the world. He's looking at your damn heart. Your heart that belongs only to you. Let's continue. Bernie Sanders graciously accepting this fake-ass defeat to put Hillary.
It was a betrayal. People were so disgusted with it. People left the Democratic Party. They just exited.
This just tells people to stay home.
I think so.
Don't bother.
Bingo.
When the people are continually told that their vote doesn't count, that it doesn't matter, and they end up believing that, the loss of faith in our democracy becomes our death knell.
And look what happened in reference to this previous election last year. Oh, no. And no shade. I was going to be one of those people that was not going to vote in the last election because, again, I see what's going on. But I had a conversation with a friend of mine who kind of got me together. And I told them, I said, okay, this is going to be the last election that I participate in, at least right now going forward, until some new knowledge comes up that makes me want to. Because these next 4 years, we need to find out who we are going to be putting in those places. We have to sit here and find out what we're going to do in reference to an independent party. Because I'm not going to keep doing this shit. This shit is not fun. It is harming people's lives every day. And for the people who feel like, oh, well, it's impossible to please America, it's impossible. Well, move your ass out the way and go sit down so that individuals who really want to do this work and try to achieve, to make the impossible possible, because again, with God, all things are possible, allow them to be in the forefront. And you go sit your ass on the sidelines and get yourself together until you feel like you're ready to get back into the fight. But when you have people vote in something that they believe in and then being told that that's not going to happen or that your vote did not count at all, what do you think that does to people? And I understand the black people are saying, well, you need to vote. You need to vote. Our ancestors fought to vote. Our ancestors fought to vote. Yep, and they created every fucking obstacle to make sure that our votes don't matter. Which is why they did mass incarceration, because if you're a convicted felon, you can't vote. Meanwhile, a convicted felon is second time going to be the president of the United States of this Americas.
The strong man, the autocrat, only succeeds when a vast swath of the population decides they've seen enough and give up. But as the people of Flint protested, the governor and his spokespeople kept lying about the water.
This is certainly a situation that deserves attention. I do not think that it rises to the level of a statewide emergency. There's just we are here with the resources necessary to address the situation without that declaration.
Anyone who is concerned about lead in the drinking water in Flint can relax. There is no broad problem right now that we've seen with lead in the drinking water in Flint.
Let's get the facts, let's keep working this, and let's remember, water isn't the only source of lead, and so we need to make sure we're encouraging people to look at other places that could create a threat.
I actually started working for the health department.
Nah, girl. This is why I cuss. This is why I have such colorful language. People say, oh, cursing is a ignorant mind trying to express itself, girl. No, cursing is to get your motherfucking attention, because when I say the F word or the S word or something or the A word, you automatically gonna listen to what I'm saying. Because when we come in with the facts, when we come in with the context and nuance, and we're just so happy and we're just so, we're just so pumped and all this stuff. Let me show y'all so I can see me, girl, because maybe I'll do that, girl. I'll put the thing up when we playing, and then when I'm talking, we can take it off. Girl, pomp, circumstance, and all this other type of shit. Girl, we just... When we come in trying to be peaceful and nice and trying to have the conversation, fear gets in the way. So cursing helps the fear to be moved out the way because we can see what the hell's going on. Now let's listen to this black woman who lives in Flint, who is a healthcare worker, provider, does something in the healthcare industry. And let's take a listen to what she has to say, the individual on the ground level, not sitting at the top floor as a governor in a building that has clean, fresh water, that he can go home to his house and take a shower without worrying about motherfucking lead being seeped into his body, able to drink water out of his faucet without lead being in it, his children not having lead in their blood. Let's take a listen to what Miss Mamas has to say about this.
November of 2015.
This is April Cook Hawkins. She was asked to participate in the cover-up.
I was the case manager here in Flint, Michigan. All of the results in regards to the blood levels, I inputted those numbers and made sure all of those numbers were correct.
And while doing so, she discovered that the government officials had cooked the books.
So she was there to deal with the information, to finalize and solidify, so that, again, calm down, everybody, calm down. There is no lead in the water, girl. And she found out that these motherfuckers cooked the damn books.
My supervisor asked if I would go in and help them out with the numbers and not show certain things. Because someone came in and they test high, the health department didn't want that number to be shown.
She began secretly...
What? Then why do y'all want to work in the healthcare industry? Hippocrates is rolling around in his motherfucking grave somewhere because y'all niggas over here doing shit, not her, but the individuals with power that's trying to cover stuff up. This is an insult and a slap to his face. The medical system is there to help people. That's the point, to help people. And now when the time comes for y'all to help people and use y'all resources to try to alleviate this, or hell yeah, deal with some damn lawsuits because of the high lead levels and all this stuff, now they're being asked, don't show those numbers. Even though that child is going to have behavioral issues and memory issues and possibly manifest all type of sicknesses and illnesses in his body, instead of rectifying that situation to make sure that at least he and his family can be taken care of financially. There, if I'm gonna sit here and I have all these illnesses, at least let me have some of your money to help alleviate. It ain't gonna solve the problem, but damn near, if it's irreversible, damn it, it's gonna help with the toleration of something that's irreversible. But then now, you want to sit up here and cook the books and tell people don't put that on there because it will make us look bad. Well, maybe if y'all was doing y'all damn job and doing it right, you wouldn't have to worry about doing all this other extra stuff. But anyway, let's continue. This shit pissing me off.
Making printouts of the falsified records and was afraid to show them to anyone until she brought them to me.
Is this an actual
Michael Moore
that you kept as a piece of evidence?
Yes. The normal number is 3.5, and anything over 3.5 is considered a high lead level. 6, 6, 5, 6, 5, 5, 6, 7, 10, 6, 8, 6, 6, 14.
Not a single number
14.
3.5 or lower.
No.
That means every child on this sheet of paper has an elevated level of lead.
Yeah. And I said, so let's just call the parents and retest. And they said, no, we can't do that. Just put them in as a 3.5 then.
And so the parents aren't able to start taking immediate action to help the child that's been lead poisoned.
They think their child is fine.
And they,
my child tested low.
You knew his parents were getting letters that were not telling the truth.
Correct. Just put them in as a 3.5 then.
And you said,
I said no, I couldn't do it. And that's when things kind of hit the fan for me.
Somebody told somebody to do this, to cover up what the state was really up to.
Yes.
Yeah, black children running around playing. Water bottle, you gotta drink out of water bottles and shit. Can't take showers and shit.
Lifestyles of the kids that's being born into this. You know what they know? They know a bottle of water and a toothbrush and toothpaste is normal.
That's how I brush my teeth in Iraq. I took bottled water showers in Iraq. So I compare how I live now, how I lived in Iraq as far as when it comes to water. I had more water supply in Iraq than I did now.
And we need to not have the highest water bills in the nation. Especially since
let's not forget about that.
Michigan has 85% of the nation's fresh surface water, 20% of the world. You know, there's people who have to choose between their water bill or medication.
People have to choose between water bill and their medication. Y'all want us to still pay for water that y'all fucked up. Do you not see how ridiculous this is? Do you see how crazy and outrageous that is? Girl. Girl, I'll be like, bitch, go grab the Papa Legba candles, bitch. Go grab the Oshun, Ogun, Oloku candles, girl. And we gonna tap into the shit our ancestors knew, girl. Because those white people were scared of our ancestors, especially bringing them the fuck over here, girl. Because again, we knew who we were. We were losing that spark within blackness. And now we sit up here and we allow ourselves to deal with this shit. Every cycle of the election is always something. Black people fight or die, fight or die, fight or die, vote or die, vote or die. How about we tired of dying? How about we start living? But how can I live when, according to using this as an example with Flint, I live in Flint, Michigan, where the water is fucked up, has all type of lead and poison in it. When it comes down for y'all, times for y'all to actually see what's going on, y'all cook the books and lie about that, and then have the nerve to tell these people, "Oh, you still gotta pay these high-ass water bills, and I can't use the water. Why am I paying for something that I can't use?" This is like being on all these damn subscriptions and not knowing how to take the subscriptions off, and they keep taking money out of your account. Deshaun says, all I'm going to say is, I told you this before. This is all artificial mind control, and it's to keep the people down by using religion, and religion was making these people dumb down. So they won't tell you to live who you are, to live your best life, to eat healthy, to be who you are, without no one worrying or trying to control who you are. That's what they're afraid of. It's all organized religion mixed with artificial mind control, and all of that is combined. That's all I gotta say. Completely understandable. I agree. There's a lot of factors here at play, which is why here on BubzDaGawd we try to do our best to actually break the shit down. What other red pill panel that's about truth would sacrifice their damn channel for truth? How many of y'all niggas over there in the red pill community who get super chats and all this shit from misinformation, how many of y'all so big and so bad and so bold and so right that you're willing to compromise your channel to spread information, not disinformation, but actual information? Because again, this is a documentary by Michael Moore, and all the individuals who are against Michael Moore today have been quoted to say that they support and like the way that he does film, which is probably why I also enjoy Michael Moore's works. This shit is crazy. That's why going forward, I be reminding myself, if anybody try me in a physical way based off of my skin color or my sexual orientation, girl, I'm not gonna be sitting up here afraid and fear. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No. You're gonna be saying, oh my God. Because we're getting to this very dangerous level here. And all we as black people, queer people, women, again, the dredges of society, all we're trying to do is get our slice and our piece of quote unquote the American pie. But we see that this is a whites only pie. Now, where's old girl to come through with that special pecan pie? And we ain't talking about infused with marijuana. We're talking about infused with something that is also organic. Okay? And maybe throw a little sugar, Avery P in there a little bit too. Let's continue.
Water bill or child care, water bill or car note, water bill or rent. When you have the highest water rates in the nation and the poorest city in the nation statistically, who has time to protest? You might want to, but you have to feed your family.
What this disaster created is a prison called Flint. No one would move here, which meant no one could leave.
If I was going to describe Flint to someone from out of the state that had never been here, I would let them know that we have a very good
So that is usually the most common question people say, why don't you just move? Would you buy my house for what I owe on it?
Unfortunately,
y'all be asking questions. Why don't y'all help a bitch out? That be the thing. Y'all be asking questions. Why don't you do this? Or why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? Why don't you help somebody out? Why don't you reach out and touch somebody's hand? Why don't you do that? Y'all be asking these dumbass questions, girl, as if though you got the answer, girl.
This water crisis could be almost the final nail in the coffin for Flint. And then people started dying of Legionnaire's disease.
Legionnaire's disease. What is Legionnaire?
This outbreak of Legionnaires was one of the highest.
Define Legionnaire's disease.
Directly related to the water crisis.
This is the family.
Legionnaire's disease is a form of bacterial pneumonia, first identified after an outbreak at an American Legion meeting in 1976. It is spread chiefly by water droplets through air conditioning and similar systems. Let's continue.
Of NBA star Flint's own Roy Marble. They lost their mother to Legionnaire's disease, which she contracted from the contaminated water at Flint's hospital.
Wow.
And I miss her so much. I do. And I wish to this day I would have just taken my mom to Ann Arbor. I wish I would have. I wish I would have. And they knew what was going on. That's the sad part about it. They knew what was going on.
Don't let anybody tell you this is just about water. This is about greed. This is about political correctness.
Take your hand off.
Don't touch my water.
And these people are being escorted out of the building protest.
We got a group of protesters.
Do you see any weapons?
Medical mortars here.
Here come the police to arrest the people. That's another thing with these individuals with money. They use money to try to escape accountability, girl, to where it's like, oh, these people are protesting, but you're not listening to the people who are protesting. You're not trying to have a conversation with these people because you know that your ass is in the wrong. The same way Donald Trump ass didn't want to have a conversation with Michael Moore in the 90s because he knew that Michael Moore was going to be on that ass, but then they told him, oh, well, just go easy on him. Just go easy on him. Why? Because he white? I mean, when you have individuals like, you know, these shooters who are white, who shot up black people, like the individual who shot up a black church, and I think it's Kyle Rittenhouse, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong again, these names. Girl, the individual who during the Black Lives Matter situation shot and killed black people and was getting bought beers and all type of shit and being invited to all type of Republican national conventions and rifle conventions, gun conventions. And that when these white people do it, oh my God, he was a lone wolf. He was a lone boy who didn't have an upbringing, just oh. But anyone who was black, all of a sudden he's a thug, he was this. In the words of Candace Owens in reference to, what's his name? George Floyd. I'm not saying that, you know, he should have died, he deserved to die. No one deserves to die. But at the same time, he was not a saint. He was not an angel. And people always ask, why is it about race? Because y'all afraid to face it. That's why it's going to always be about race. Because black people ain't start this shit. And y'all going to have to do y'all part to help resolve this shit too. Because y'all created that. So yes, everything unfortunately is about race because that's what this country was built on and still sustains itself on. This diversity and inclusion is destroying this falsified way of living that y'all created. Not because y'all had morals and values and ethics, but because y'all literally wanted to make someone else do the work. Because again, America is a corporation. America within itself is a business. And we are the individuals who the business is being made off of or keeps that business alive. That's why self-love is important, so that when you do manifest a certain amount of richness or wealth, that you are able to balance yourself and to wield that power righteously with virtue. All the shit that these individuals did were not of virtue. It was for money and profit. And then when the truth comes out, they can use that resource that they have in abundance and they hoard it up to control the narrative. Well, I want you hoes to understand that God, source, universe, consciousness, karma sees everything and records everything and will operate when you least expect it. And if it don't happen to you, your children's children's children is going to experience it, which is why with critical race theory, oh my God, why should we make children feel bad about being white? Because you made black children feel bad about being black. You see how that works? Oh, well, you guys are doing reverse racism. Well, I'm glad that you said reverse racism, because in order for me to reverse something, something would have to be there first. So racism was there. And now that you're experiencing accountability, you want to call that reverse racism. No, it's called accountability. It's called, this is what it looks like when you do this to other people. Here is the mirror experience. And those people can't handle that, especially when you were grown and born into privilege. See, accountability seems like an attack to people who are privileged. We almost done, y'all. Let's continue further.
Let's call this what it is. It's not just a water crisis. It's a racial crisis. It's a poverty crisis.
We need the President of the United States here. We need federal help. We need FEMA. We need the EPA. We need the CDC, and we need the Army Corps of Engineers.
And that was Michael Moore, again, a white man who has privilege, who used his privilege to help out disparaged groups of people. Unlike Snyder's ass to talk to the people, because he the one that made that choice, Michael Moore stood with the people. That's what I mean for the individuals who are Caucasian, girl, who don't want to be racist or want to end racism to the best of their abilities. You're going to have to do what Michael Moore did, which is you're going to have to use your privilege and be open and be vocal with it. To the point to where you low-key compromising your connection to privilege.
What did you know and when did you know it? You're asking 3 questions now. Okay. And that goes to your point about being civil. In many respects, you haven't been the most civil about this whole situation. And I'm always happy to answer questions. We stayed here to answer additional questions. And we're trying to be open and transparent.
Well, then answer the motherfucking questions and stop getting mad at me asking questions. You don't get to decide, well, in a sense you do get to decide how open and transparent you want to be. But don't sit up here and talk about we're being open and transparent, but don't want to answer the open and transparent questions. See, whoo, Lord, if they ever put my ass on TV, girl, it's gonna be over with.
He had been anything but open and transparent. Thanks to an investigation by the Michigan ACLU, the public learned that the governor's office had covered up the poisoning of Flint for nearly a year and a half.
Wow. Just like how Trump hid the fact that he knew that COVID was here 3 months. Earlier than what you told us. See what happened when these rich ass, wealthy ass, privileged ass, narcissistic, manipulative, gutter butt, trollop ass individuals. See what they do when you have people who are not qualified to be. You talking about, oh, with DEI, that's just me, or affirmative action, that's putting a black man above a white man because he black against a man who knows how to do this stuff. Meanwhile, you got this whole individual girl who does not know how to run a damn thing, girl, and has fucked up some stuff. And again, it's the brown people who have to suffer. It's the oppressed groups of people who have to suffer based off the choices of these rich, wealthy motherfuckers, girl. That's why I tell black people all the time, baby, you're gonna have to find a way to tap into your African spirituality or something. Because these individuals are so narcissistic, they expect you to just sit there and accept it. To where when the people actually come in and went to his motherfucking office, governor's office, to try to have a conversation with him, he, excuse me, I had to burp, y'all, was afraid to walk out and talk to the people. That's real bitch assness there.
We've been to homes like Saturday and one today where the windows, there's holes in the windows and there's little, like young children, they've got like a little blanket around them and many of them have fallen on hard times. I saw 2 babies shivering and I'm bringing a bottle of water and the mother thinks I'm like the second coming. You know what my thought was? Well, no, my thought was, I thought, that son of a bitch. That's what I thought, to do that to our people. Right. He should be charged criminally. Once he was advised by his chief of staff that the water had lead levels above what was acceptable, and he continued the program, didn't bring it to anyone's attention, any of his administrators, in fact, fought it, that makes it an intentional act.
So for every hour after he knew that that water was essentially poisoning these children.
Whether
It's a criminal act.
I think it's a criminal act.
No terrorist organization has yet to figure out how to poison an entire American city. That took the Republican Party of Michigan and its CEO governor to pull off.
Girl, I wish I could show you this damn part, girl, because Michael Moore, and I'm gonna end it on that part because I can't show y'all, girl, but Michael Moore ass decided to go ahead and get a big ass, I forgot what they call when they be transporting gasoline and stuff, or some sort of tank. Got a big ass water tank, girl, on the back of a damn truck and drove that shit to the governor's house at that time and sprayed his house down with Flint water, girl. That was iconic.
I'm gonna try to show y'all a little bit of it. A citizen's arrest.
Not a citizen's arrest.
Here to the governor's office.
Okay, just hold on a minute.
All right. All right. Yeah, I know.
Oh, so he was using, shout out to Michael Moore using his white privilege to go do a citizen's arrest. Come on, just like how y'all, when black people walk in y'all neighborhoods, what y'all doing here? What you doing here? You live here? Where you from? Never seen you before. This is what I'm talking about when white people use their privilege in the right sense. You can prove that this person is sitting here doing shit, go arrest his ass. But let's see what happens when the white versus white. Let's see what happens. Let's listen to what happens.
Hey, Ari Adler, Governor's Director of Communications.
Oh, great. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure.
So, well, I'm
This
here
is someone to talk.
To make a citizen's arrest of the governor, and I'm wondering if you could help facilitate that for me.
Okay, no, Governor's not here.
For poisoning the people of Flint.
Well,
Knowingly poisoning the people of Flint.
there were mistakes made. There was a water crisis in Flint. Water quality in Flint is now testing well below any kind of action level at the federal level.
So the water's safe.
Some of the current tests are currently showing that it's actually testing better than bottled water.
Better than bottled water. I actually have a glass of water here from the city of Flint. I brought with me all the way from Flint. If it is great water, would you mind drinking it right now?
I'm not going to just drink a glass of water that I don't know where it came from.
I just told you it came from Flint.
If you'd like information or...
Girl, we asked you to drink the water. And you really think this man gonna poison your ass, girl? I mean, well, why not drink the water, girl? Why not drink it? Oh, but no, I don't want to drink the water and I know where it came from. It came from Flint. Drink the water. Y'all still expect the people of Flint to drink the water? I mean, you just sat here and said, the water in Flint is so on point, girl. It's better than bottled water. And then here comes the water, and you can't drink the motherfucking water, girl, because you afraid that my ass poisoned. No, it's already pre-poisoned. I ain't had to do shit but just transport it here to you. Can you drink the water? And of course, no, I'm not gonna drink the water. Girl, that's why some of these motherfuckers gonna need to be cussed out in their face. Because one thing you're not gonna do with BubzDaGawd is playing BubzDaGawd face like that. You're not gonna do that. Because we're gonna have a problem then. There's gonna be an issue, a situation then. You're not gonna do all that to me. But let's go forward more, y'all. Forward more. Lord, let's go further, y'all.
You think this water's still poisoned?
I do not think that at all.
So shout out to him. He's getting water. Gonna put inside of a damn truck. See, this type of stuff I like. This is my type of carrying on, low key. This is what I need black people to do, girl.
Governor Snyder? Hello?
Yeah, Governor Snyder's residence.
Hello? Hi. It's Michael Moore. Are you home?
I'm gonna get to your comments in a second.
All right.
So.
Let's hose them down.
Yep, let's hose them down, girl. So bring the water in. See, this type of shit I like. This type of shit I like. This is my type of carrying on. No shade. I'll be very nice, girl, but in my damn spirit and soul, girl, sometimes I'm gonna be doing shit like this, girl. Like, oh, y'all wanna play these type of games? Okay. Oh, yeah. Let the games begin. Let the games begin, girl. Just because I'm black, you guys can't play the game, bitch. The difference between black people and y'all is the fact that black people know how to survive. Y'all don't, which is why y'all afraid, which is why y'all gotta have all the money.
Yeah.
on, Jennifer Lewis.
I saw that dirty water with my own eyes.
Saw the dirty water with her own eyes. Look at the
But
children.
not to my surprise, Governor Snyder, you're not much of a provider.
Hell no.
Flint ain't fixed.
Still ain't fixed. I'm not
Every
mistaken.
single child in Flint.
Flint ain't fixed.
10,000 children
Flint ain't fixed.
had drank the lead.
Flint ain't fixed. The children up there are sick. The lead in the water is thick. Flint ain't fixed.
Yeah, let me go back to that face real quick. These are the black children, girl. Some of the ones in Flint. And Jennifer Lewis's face is my face right now, girl. This is from 2020. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen this year? Look at y'all comments. I'm gonna get up out of here because I'm curious to see how YouTube gonna do this shit. Deshaun says the Republicans are separating themselves. Do you know that Steve Burns or Stevie Burns or whatever his name is turned on Elon Musk? Because the Republicans that are the old school Republicans, they don't believe in technology, are separating from the Republicans that are with technology and AI. So there's a whole lot of inside fighting going on inside that party. So President Biden gave the medal to the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Hillary Clinton, and the mega Trump supporters are absolutely livid and crazy about that. They're very angry. And also that medal to George Soros, or also they're getting so angry and mad about that, even though I don't trust George Soros. I'm just gonna say this. We as the people have to do something. This system has failed us multiple times, girl. The way this system is, that's why I say all this stuff is systemic. It's systemic. I literally did a live months ago about a bunch of black people sitting around during the 60s and 70s having these, trying to talk about what can black people do for blackness. And there were so many different ways and viewing on how to do that. Some who believe you can make change in the system. Some said, girl, destroy the system. System's trash. Some individuals were in the more of the spiritual and esoteric, like I am, girl, to help make change, girl. All these other things. But yet we were not able to make that change or get over that hump. Because this experience that we have going on is not how life is supposed to be lived. This is supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, and it's anything and everything but that. So this was just part one. Okay? Part one of that documentary. Again, if you want to watch it in its entirety without waiting for me to do part two, the link for it is in the description box below. I was trying to get my mom to watch this last night, but I'm going to see if I can get my family to watch this documentary, because I don't think they've seen it before, just so we can be reminded of what's to come. Because we got a lot more shit to get into in reference to part two, when it gets scary. That's when we're going to start having the videos about the military being used, girl, in urban areas. How there are certain places that are preparing, girl, for no-knock searches. I mean, no warrant searches, where they can knock on your shit and come in your shit without a warrant. And how that's going to affect us. We got to do something. We have to, excuse me, we have to do something. We have to. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I thank y'all for joining me for part 1. Again, I was trying to do this shit last night, or earlier in the morning, shall I say, because one of the purposes of my YouTube channel that I promised myself, and I said this in the last live before, you know, the internet started acting up or whatever, that I want to start going live again after midnight, because there are people who cannot sleep. There are people who are so stressed out and so just caught up in fear that they can't sleep. They're dealing with insomnia and they want someone to talk to, and I want to be able to offer my services as far as, I'm just going to be honest, I am a public speaker, a motivational speaker. I'm just all types of speakers to be able to help people deal with this. And I'm going to ask that you all please share my content going forward. Please share them. Share them in spaces where this conversation needs to happen. Any red pill space, leave it in the comment section. It take you 10 seconds to hit the share button, hit copy link, and then put it somewhere. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just we gotta do something. We gotta do something. We have to do something. We gotta do something. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me for this live. I really appreciate it. If you can, please make sure you hit the like button, because it helps this channel to grow in the algorithms. We're at 830 on the road to 1K, slowly but surely. Okay, we have content, nuance, and quality, so that when things pop off, we'll be able to maintain and evolve and sustain what it is God's Source Universe Consciousness has for us. Okay, if you like the vibe over here on BubzDaGawd, please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, so that you can stay up to date with all of my live and edited content, my community posts, all that. If there's anything, again, in this live that I have said that you feel is very imperative to the conversation to help bring context, nuance, and awareness, I ask that you please screen record whatever segment and share them on your social media platforms, whatever they may be. Just make sure you tag me, BubzDaGawd, in that, because I'm BubzDaGawd everywhere. And if you feel compelled, you can definitely hit that Cash App up, $ BubzDaGawd. We take anything that jingle and fold, and no shade, girl, I'm going to manifest my financial freedom as well. So if you feel compelled to want to tap into that, you can definitely hit me up in the Cash App. I really appreciate it. Again, shout out to King Deshaun being in the building. Shout out to Queen Stevie being in the building. Shout out to Queen Spicy. Shout out to King Harold in the building. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to those in the bushes. And yeah, shout out to those who feel some type of way about what I'm saying. If you feel some type of way about what I'm saying, you have every right to respond, and I'll be waiting for that. So until next time, everybody, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Monday, and I am out. Peace.
I can be anything I choose in this round. We are a sound vibration too deep to tell.